What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Samurai Sports Network, and today we're gonna be starting the newest series excuse me, on my channel. And you see by the title, Resign, Walk, or Trade. So very simple. As my phone goes off, it's gonna be a list of players that are on the Miami Dolphins, and we're gonna go over players that I think, obviously we're gonna go over free agents. We're gonna go over current players that are under contract for at least a decent amount of time. And the whole concept of it is going to be, do we re-sign them, do we let them walk, or do we trade them? Pretty simple. Some of them might have franchise tag, but it's pretty simple. And we're going to start off with one that's pretty easy. Or actually, let's start off with a little bit more of a difficult one. I'm going to switch it up on myself right now. And you already know who the player is. But let's go with Kiko Alonso for the first episode of Resign, Walker, Trade. And this one I find to be very difficult, especially for Dolphins fans, in terms of those who really enjoy having Kiko on the team. I mean, Kiko Alonso is a difference maker for this team, and he is pretty interesting for us to have. But at the same time, there's certain things that Kiko Alonso does in coverage that make you question why he re-signed with the Dolphins in the first place. Now, we kept going over the fact of keep our own. The Dolphins wanted to keep their own and wanted to be very proud of that and wanted to actually have that, emphasis of we are keeping our own, keep our own, this, that, you get the whole point. Keep our own. If they show the production, if they want to stay, keep our own. And out of everyone that they kept last season, the three major ones, Andre Branch, Kiko Alonso, and Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills was the one that had the most production. Then you got to go Kiko, and then you go Andre Branch. This season was very disappointing from a standpoint of Andre Branch. He was a completely different player than we had seen both in Jacksonville and in Miami. I mean, it seemed like he just lost complete control of his, I guess you could say, pass rushing ability. So you lost a lot of that out of Andre Branch. And then when he goes to Kiko Alonso, although he wasn't outstanding in coverage last year, he was very decent. And it was decent enough where there was a chance that he could stay on defense during passing plays, where he wasn't that bad in coverage, but he wasn't that good at the same time. He was kind of in between. He was kind of like a Koamisi, where when Koamisi was healthy, he was a huge run-stopping linebacker for us, and then he could kind of cover, but not really, but it worked in a certain way, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting to see this Kiko Alonso situation, and it makes you think, do we trade Kiko Alonso? Do we cut him? And let me give you a simple answer here. Both situations aren't favorable for the Miami Dolphins. I would say that in this situation of the scenarios of resign, Walker, trade, I'd have to give it as a trade option here in terms of what I would rather do, because obviously he's not a free agent. So if I had to pick one, it would be trade. The only issue that we have with Kiko Alonso is that his contract would need to be restructured, because the Miami Dolphins would be on the books for a lot of guaranteed money from the Kiko Alonso contract. So whoever is going to be trading for him would really be paying pennies on the dollar, and it's like, what is it? There's like penny stocks, if you know it, like if you even watched The Wolf of Wall Street, you kind of understand it. It's like penny stocks, where he's really paid, like the team's going to be paying jack to nothing for Kiko Alonso, while the Dolphins would be paying a lot for Kiko Alonso. And that would be a really, really bad situation for the Miami Dolphins to be in. So I'd think that in this one, you'd have to go with a trade with a restructure. You'd have to restructure his contract and then maybe try to trade him sometime before the trade deadline next season. And it sucks because unless he can get a little bit better in his coverage, I mean, he is a tackling machine. The dude barely misses any tackles. He's really good with that. He wraps up. He forces fumbles. He makes plays. And it just sucks that he's that bad in coverage. Hopefully, we can see a better Kiko Alonso coming into next year. But, yeah, that's the first edition of Resign, Walker, Trade. I hope you guys will enjoy this series. It's going to be very interesting. I have more series coming out for you guys soon. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And as always, peace.